On the back, it's more of the same, but it gets more complicated. If you notice that on the front, the very first ones were very simple. All you needed to know was triangle sum theorem. And then you could find the missing angle, right? But down here, it starts to get more complicated. You have to apply the vertical angle theorem and then triangle sum, or triangle sum and then vertical angle, or linear pair postulate and then triangle sum and linear pair postulate again. So the same thing's happening on the back. You have to apply several things that you know at the same time. And so again, the biggest trick is just to, you may not be able to get to this right away, but figure out what you can get to, knowing that you have the triangle sum. These are the tools that are the best to use. The triangle sum theorem, where all the angles in a triangle add to 180. The vertical angle theorem, where if you see vertical angles, they're congruent. And the linear pair postulate, where if you have two adjacent angles in a straight line, they add to 180. And that's going to be the primary things that you use here. You also need to know that if you see a box like this, it means 90 degrees. So that'll be helpful too. So just try to see which ones of these you can apply and where. And once you start filling it in, you'll be able to start to figure out what else you can fill in from there and eventually move your way. Use these like rules on a game board to jump you from one angle to the next until you get to the angle that you need. So I'll do number 15. Number 15, I'm looking at this and I don't see anything next to this that would help me, right? If I knew this angle, then I could use the linear pair postulate, but I don't know that angle. I can't find that angle because I don't have two angles in the triangle yet. I can't find these two angles yet. I can't find this because I don't know the number in the triangle, but here is a pair of here's a vertical angle pair right here. And I know the 45 degrees, which means I know that this is 45 degrees. So there is a place that I can apply something that I know because of the vertical angle theorem. Now, I'm looking at this triangle, and I'm able to say, well, I've got two angles in a triangle, which means I can find this missing angle. They should add to 180. So 60 plus 45 is 105. And then subtract 180, that leaves 75 degrees. So this is going to be 75 degrees. Okay, now I've got these three things. And that's not a linear pair, but it is sort of a linear trio. The three of them should add up to 180 degrees. So if the three of these should add up to 180 degrees, then we take 75 plus 68, that's 143, and then subtract from 180, then that's 37. So I know this is going to be 37. And from there, I now see that I have a triangle with two angles and one missing. So again, I can apply my triangle sum theorem. These two together add to 137 degrees. Subtract from 180. And that leaves 43 degrees. So this is going to be 43 degrees. And now I have a linear pair right here. 43, and this angle right here should add up to 180. So 180 minus 43, 37, 137 degrees. So our final destination is 137. So you see how I just used these basic ideas are really not just linear pairs, but like things that add to 180. So I used these three things to move around this diagram like it was sort of a game that I was allowed to, here's a rule that allows me to jump to here. Now here's a rule that allows me to jump to here. Now here's a rule that allows me to jump here. And a rule that allows me to jump here. And then a rule that allowed me to jump there. So apply your rules that way to get around these triangles to figure out the missing angle that's indicated.